Hello, I have a message. Is it for you? I've laid out some cards and I'm beginning to see a little storyline that I'm going to speak about. Hopefully, something in this message resonates for you and you are able to gain a little perspective on your own situation. Today, this message is for a teacher, someone who has been very observant through their whole life. They've paid attention and have seen some of the inner workings of the world, of themselves, of spirit. Someone who feels a little segregated from the rest of people around them. Maybe someone who's more comfortable by themselves. And I think that's because of the roles or the gifts that you have in being a teacher, because through that observation you have been able to gain a lot of wisdom and insight into the workings of yourself and therefore the workings of the human energy system. But this has formed a wonderful foundation for you, and this is being really encouraged right now. There's a lot of momentum behind this, a lot of celebration, and a lot of acknowledgement for who you are, for what you hold, for your perspective, and an honoring of the way you conduct it with a lot of wisdom. So if you find that that resonates with you, perhaps this next part will as well. Because I see a bit of anxiety, which of course is not uncommon, but there is some hesitation that is coming through here. Some not quite fear, but this sense of being on edge, on looking out for danger, and for not quite wanting to venture out into the field, being comfortable in your burrow. And, everything has its place, and it's warm, it's comfortable, and you don't need anything else, really. But you've noticed that this tendency, this energy is holding you back a little bit from change, perhaps, or just moving forward or exploring something that you may be interested in or pursuing, perhaps more of a leadership or teaching role. The advice here that I'm seeing is to honor this aspect of yourself, this feeling of hesitation, of being on edge. Know that that part of yourself is playing or has played an important role and function in your life, and that it deserves as much recognition as any other part within yourself, because there is gifts here underneath, and it is a part of yourself just as every other part. So sit with this energy. Notice it as you notice many other things. Notice it and bring a sense of acceptance, if you can, and compassion for these tendencies, for these feelings. It's perfectly natural. It's very, very human to be anxious and to not want or to be a little uncomfortable with change, getting out of our home and exposing ourselves. But there is gifts here underneath this, and this energy is trying to show you something. So sit with it, let it rest, let it be. Don't try to change it. Don't try to overcome it, push over it, but rest with it. Let it rest. Let it rest without it needing to change. Bring as much compassion and love to this part of yourself for all that it has kept you safe through the years, and for, it is a cherished part of yourself, or it needs to be cherished. and acknowledged and held as much as you can. And because it wants to move. It wants to move on. It wants to move through. There needs to be some fresh energy here. And I think that there is a bit of a key here that it is holding for you to claim, to help you to free yourself, from this holding pattern that you may be in. This hesitation and anxiety is presenting in a way that is maybe holding you back from fully exploring something that you do want to explore. You have a lot of different joys that you have found in your life, little small pockets of sweet nectar that you know where they are and that you flit around to here and there, and maybe you dabble in them, exploring down one little path and then flying over to another and going down there to explore. But maybe you get distracted or you get bored or there's some lack of commitment and you're always not sure which path to take, and you find yourself going back and forth a lot or between a lot of different things. And they all may bring you positive feelings as you create or explore or invest, as you digest new information. And you may be beating yourself up here too much about this, feeling like you need to commit, pick only one and stick with it and keep going. But actually, what it seems is that they're all meant for you. All of these flowers, all of these cups, all of these paths, they're all yours. They don't have to be separate, and they don't have to be exclusive to one another. Allow yourself to just be present with something that brings you joy and allow that to be the full experience and the full reason of doing that thing is just for the feeling of it. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It doesn't have to produce something. It doesn't have to be the be all end all of your time or your action. You have more strength than you realize. And by allowing these joys to take you as they will, and perhaps celebrating in the variety, this is bringing a lot of self-mastery and a lot of well-roundedness in who you are, and it's all bringing you greater perspective and all bringing you new ways to connect with people, to connect with yourself, and to share your perspective and to gain perspective. And this is really, the throne that you are sitting on is your joy, is your passions, is your connections. And this is tying back into what you are expressing and what you are sharing with other people, being a gift and being something that is showing and shedding light to other people. It's not about, finding that one career to produce and progress and to be the upstanding role model. No, it is the joy, the creativity, the expression. That is who you are, and that is your path. And that, not to tell you, of course, at all what your path is, but that is seeming to be what's coming through and what is being encouraged, is that you are the expression of God. You are the expression of love and joy. And by you living that, that is the example that you are setting, that there is freedom there, there is liberation there, and through that passion, there is purpose. This is a really supportive reading. There is a lot of connection here to the divine. And there's some not only encouragement, but assurance that you don't need to be so concerned with which direction you pick or which path you take, because that is a little bit of a fallacy. You create your own path as you walk it. There is no defined path. As you run wild and free, as you make those supposedly wrong turns, you find yourself exactly where you wanted to be. And that's exactly where Spirit wants you to be, is exactly where you already are. So there's so much hope here. There's just a lot of upliftment and encouragement, because you are guided. You are being led, but you're being led by the happenstance, by the joy, by life in all of its twists and turns. So whoever this message is for, I wish you lots of love and open-heartedness as you continue to explore, and as you continue to love, and as you continue to share. So thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope to share some encouragement with you. So thank you. Until next time.